accomplishments at the business, such as like assists are provided, which don't really tell that much. You want to vary the way you describe your role, which is, say, for example, that using the fry cook example, you could be more specific with your results, you can quantify it. So fry cook turns into collaborated with 5 team members to ensure customer service, which sounds a lot better, and that can also kind of help over with, it's transferable to any other job you might be doing. So make sure you quantify and you're very more specific than you think you should be. And also just a reminder that the job search guides are up here if anyone wants to look at them. And they have a list of, they have a bunch of action verbs in there that are really helpful.
Okay, so when you're drafting your resume for the first time, or even when you're editing a resume you've already made, you're going to come across some roadblocks. I know I did. First thing is that you maybe can't fit it to one page. I'm going to say that you can. I believe in you. What the key is thinking about balancing your skills as well as priorities. So in terms of balance, if you've done a whole bunch of technical stuff, you don't want to just lay it all out, lay completely all technical, because your job may have different duties that involve things not technical. So you want to get a good balance of skills and show them you're a well-rounded individual. And then you're going to want to prioritize, like tailoring your resume based on what, what the job description is looking for. We're kind of beating a dead horse here. So GPA, 3.0 or above, so on and so forth. You may find that it is hard to pick out experiences, or you may think you may not have work experience, but again, going back to the transferable skills, you definitely have done something, whether it's like a project in a class or whatever, that you can frame your resume around those skills that you've learned, so that you can show what you can do for that employer. And then finally, activities and interests, you should definitely include them from NC State, high school, or from within the community. Again, it goes back to transferable skills, showing that you have grown throughout these activities and can apply them in other situations.
All right, so right there is the essential 10, and that's something that all employers are looking for. So essentially what we wanted you to get out of that, it's too small to read, but you can find it on the Career Development Center website, is a lot of the employers are looking for the soft skills mainly. So you want to emphasize those in your resume. Think about what the employer wants to see in a future intern or a full-time employee, and just arrange it to where the soft skills are the top. So they want someone that can work on teams, especially communicate with people, that can prioritize things and plan, and can make decisions. So make sure to emphasize those in the resume.
And then once you've written your resume, you just want to look over it and make sure that it's good and ready for the career fair or to send off to an employer. So a good rule of thumb is, pulling out arm's length and just kind of first glance what stands out to you in it. Do you see too much white space? Are there things like, can you not see your name? Things like that. Just formatting things like we were talking about. That's kind of how the employer is going to see your resume at the career fair. So it's a good way to kind of see how it's going to come off. And then another thing is, how quickly can you see your important qualifications? And then you also want someone else to look at it, whether it's someone in the CDC or a friend, and just kind of see what they notice or what stands out from your resume to them, and see how other people view your resume. And then you want to keep it updated every year. So as you're adding stuff and doing more things within your life, you want to keep adding that, and then that's when the stuff from like high school and stuff starts to drop off.
One of the last things that we kind of talked about earlier is EPAC. So raise your hand in here if you are using EPAC currently. Okay, that's great. That's good news. So for EPAC, if you haven't used it, you go on there and you create a profile, and that includes your GPA, your major, your year, and then from there you upload your resume or cover letter. There's different things you can upload that will potentially help you in your search. But from there, you can go to apply to internships, co-ops, and jobs that some are recommended to you based on what you put into your profile. And that's great news to use EPAC, mainly because the employers on there specifically contacted NC State to get on there, and so they're specifically looking for NC State students to fill those positions, which is really nice because it kind of gives you an advantage over other people applying. You can use EPAC up to 1 year after graduation, which is nice, because that is really helpful. And then just make sure to update your profile each semester. I just recently did mine, that I went from sophomore to junior. That's pretty much it.
All right, so we're done, basically. What you can do after this presentation is go to this resume lab. It's on the 8th of February from 5 to 6 at the Fox 306. And what you can do there is you can bring your resume, and people will be there to critique it and kind of gear you toward making a really, really nice resume for those internships you're applying. So just a couple of other things. You can schedule an appointment if you want a more in-depth conversation about LinkedIn, resume, anything career-related. We have drop-in hours from 11 to 2 every day, Monday through Friday. And that's more of a question sort of basis. And then you can just let me know.
Can you go back to the box thing? I didn't get the slide rip.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Thank y'all for staying a little late. We know you have to do a little after. So thank y'all for your patience.
Thanks, guys.